What's going on, YouTube? Mr. Wheels here once again, bringing you another episode of Sports Talk. And with the MLB set to open this 2014 regular season come the start of the week, I wanted to do a preview of the American League and the National League. This video will be of the American League, and I will do one of the National League right after it. Now, I'm not a baseball fanatic, but I'm going to give you my thoughts on who's going to win the division, who I think is going to be the wild card favorite, and the eventual team to come out of the American League to the World Series. So let's get started in the AL East. Oh, first of all, please like and subscribe to this video after I'm done. It would be greatly appreciated. But let's get started with the AL East. I think the Yankees, given that if you look at their team, they have a tremendous amount of depth on offense and probably one of the best rotations in all of baseball. So I think it's a no-brainer. They're not only my favorite to win the AL East, but I would take them as a potential World Series favorite. The bigger battle in the AL East is going to be for the second spot between, in my opinion, Boston and Baltimore. Now, Boston, again, on paper, if you look at them, they've got a better rotation than Baltimore does, but I think Baltimore is going to have an easier time scoring runs. And over the course of the season, I could see Baltimore taking that second spot and Boston, having a better chance at the wild card. Just my opinion. That leaves Tampa Bay and Toronto. I think Tampa Bay, just because of the consistent, I think Tampa Bay can be a little bit more consistent throughout the season. They don't have as good a rotation, in my opinion, as the Yankees and Boston and Baltimore, but they could surprise and and turn a few heads in the AL East. But they're more of a wild card team, in my opinion. That leaves Toronto. Now, I'm a Toronto Blue Jays fan. I follow the Jays more than any other team, but realistically, even with a pretty solid rotation, if you look at spots 1 through 3, that fourth and fifth spot in the rotation is going to be a really, really sore spot for the Jays, and I don't think their bullpen is good enough to really help them, considering the division that they play in and just how competitive the American League is. So I have them, probably fifth in the AL East. I hope they do better than that, and they are a wild card team to make it into the playoffs at best. Now let's move on to the AL Central. Much like the AL East, I have the Tigers. Much like the AL East with the Yankees running away with that division, I have the Tigers pretty much being the overall favorite in the American League Central. I think they, even with the loss of Doug Feaster, I think they still have one of the best rotations in the American League, and definitely the best rotation in the AL Central. Again, the biggest, tightest race in that division, I think, will be for second spot between the Royals and the Indians. Now, I think the Royals have a little better rotation than the Indians, but the Indians may just be a scrappier team and be able to win those close games. So I have the Indians in second on paper. Again, this is just, it's on paper. It's not. I'm not saying it's going to happen. And rosters are going to look different near the end of the season than they do at the start of the season. So I have the Indians slightly in second, or just edging the Royals in second. But the Royals could make some noise in the wild card race. That brings me to the White Sox and the Twins. Now, I see both of those teams as not really are going to do very much. They're wild card teams at best. I have the White Sox in fourth, and the Twins, I think they're just they're rebuilding. They don't really have a great team, in my opinion, and I have them in dead last in the Central. I don't even think they'll do much in the wild card. Now, as for the American League West, this is the toughest division to give an opinion on, because I want to say the Rangers, because I think they have a better offense and they'll be able to play defense as well. I think they have a better rotation than the Angels. However, the Angels could have a pretty potent offense. So I have the Angels in first in the AL West over Texas, and I think Texas could also. They're another team that could really do some damage in the AL wild card. That leaves the Mariners. I think the Mariners at best are a third place team in the AL West. They got Robinson Cano and they've got some offense, but it's the rotation in their bullpen that after King Felix, I don't really see them having the pitchers to help them win games. I could be wrong, but that's just the way I feel. Then I have the A's in fourth. They've lost. They were never a great team with a lot of superstars to begin with, and they've lost some of those guys. So I have them, no better than fourth in the AL West. And the Astros, well, they weren't great last year, and I think it's going to be more of the same this year. So they're going to be dead last, not only in the AL Central, but American League and possibly all of baseball. I just want to recap the wild card quickly. I think the teams that are going to do the most in the wild card are going to be the Rangers, the Red Sox, Tampa Bay. I'm going to say Toronto, but I think the Indians and the Royals could be in there too, along with the Mariners. It's a toss-up. It's hard to pick a definitive team that's really going to stand out in the wild card because, I think there's a parity in baseball during the season. It's during the playoffs that you see, the best teams really come alive. And just for this video's sake, my World Series prediction is the Yankees and the Dodgers, and I think the Dodgers will win that. I think they could win it in 6, but if they don't, I would say the other thing that could happen is Yankees in 7. But Yankees Dodgers are my World Series favorites, and it's going to at least go 6 games. So I'd like to thank you for watching. Please, again, like and subscribe. Tell me what you think. I want to know, who your picks are to win each division in the American League. Who's your World Series favorite? Let me know. If you think, if I didn't do a good enough job of this, let me know. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you